Hello. Good afternoon to all my friends and then students. Wish you all a marvelous Monday. So we met last Thursday. So there was a 3 days gap. Okay. Hope you people are doing well. So today and in the last class, before coming to today's class, I need to recollect or recap the last session. So we have been studying about the organic compounds introduction. So what else we studied there in the, what do you mean by organic compounds, and then what is the nature of organic compounds, else everything we studied in the last session. Okay, so just you what and all we studied in the last session. So look at this. We have studied about carbon or organic compounds and their versatility. That is what in they are inseparable in human life. Okay, so daily food which we eat, it is made up of carbon, oxygen, water. So the food, where does the food comes? It comes from the plants. They will prepare their food through the sunlight and other nutrients and water and the green pigment which is present in the leaf. Okay, so, isn't it? So this food, it is an organic compound. So through the process of photosynthesis, plants may prepare the food. And not only that, we need medicine for our wellness. Yes or no? So these medicines are also carbon rich compounds, and clothes we use. Yes. And then the fuels and the paint, cosmetics, the automobiles and the automobile fuels, everything, the domestic fuels, everything we use in our daily life, they are mainly made of organic compounds. Okay, so good afternoon. So this is the carbon compounds we studied in the previous class, and we also studied about what are the natural as well as the man-made organic compounds. So this natural man-made, there are two varieties or their types are there. Naturally they are present, and then man-made synthetic materials are also made of organic compounds. Yes, good. Can you name yourself, please? You people are watching the live session. I just want to know your names. You people are coming and then going away. Please comment me. This is a live session. I am taking organic compounds. Okay. So now, and then in nature, there are more than 5 million organic compounds we have been found. And then I told about the last session I am discussing now. I am revisiting the last session. Okay, already I taught you this introduction part. This is the revisit I am doing because the 3 days gap, that's why I am recollecting the concepts again. So the carbon, it has a unique nature and it has a catenation. What is catenation? Tetravalency and then multiple bonding. All this we are going to see today in detail. Okay, just an introduction I gave you in the last session. And then the carbon has a tendency to combine with the other atoms. Okay, they are the hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. So they can form large number of compounds like this. Okay, so how they can form this large number of compounds means by all these properties only help the carbon. It has a catenation property. Catenation means it has the ability to form rings or the linear chain with other atoms, and so that it has the covalent bond in it. So this covalency means what? It has four lone pair of electrons in the outermost shell. So this electrons only help in the covalent bond formation. That is mutual sharing of electrons between the atoms will take place. And then there is a tetravalence. I told you that they have the 4 electrons in their valence shell, and then multiple bonding. The carbon can form many bonds between the atoms, like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur, as I told you. Okay, so these are the unique nature of carbon. Okay, so next is, we have already studied about all those what is the valence shell electrons, and then how the valence shell electrons form bond with the other atoms, that is the mutual sharing of electrons is known as the covalency. Yes, and then they have a low melting point and boiling point, as was discussed earlier. Very quickly, the melting point and boiling point will be reached by the carbon compounds, and then the carbon compounds, they exhibit isomerism. That will, they have a similar structure, but they may have different functions, like isomerism. Okay, you will be learning this isomerism concepts in detail in your higher classes. And the next, volatile. Volatile means they will be directly connected to the gaseous form, from the solid state to the gaseous form. They will escape easily in the air. That's a volatile. And then not only that, these organic compounds can be in the laboratory. Not only natural, that's why man-made organic compounds, I told you in the beginning itself. Okay, and the next is, the organic compounds are less reactive. Okay, because of that the reaction rate will be very slow when you take this organic compounds. Since they are less reactive, the rate of the reaction, the speed of the reaction will be very slow in the organic compounds. And not only that, all the organic compounds will have the high molecular weight and complex structures. Because of this tetravalency and the covalency and catenation property, it could form the complex structures with high molecular weight. If we take that diamond, graphite, okay, and not only that, scientists have been found like fullerene. These are all the tetravalency characters. Okay, they can form more than one bonds. Okay, and the next is, these organic compounds are generally insoluble in water. Okay, because they are soluble only in the organic solvents like alcohol, ether, etc. Okay, now, so this is about the last session, and today's session we are going to concentrate in the classification of organic compounds, children. So if you look at this classification, in the sense in what way, on what basis they have been classified, okay, and then what are the methods have been implemented for the organic compounds classification, and then on the structural arrangement also the organic compounds have been classified. Okay, so based on the pattern of the carbon chain, and then the systematic methods of classification is being implemented, because this like that we cannot classify the organic compound. There should be some method, there should be some orderly way to classify the organic compounds. That's it. So this is the live session for organic compounds I am conducting here. If you like this live session, you can please share among your friends also, so that your friends, your relatives can also learn this organic compounds in a more easy way. Okay, so on the basis of the structural arrangement also we can classify the organic compounds. Okay, so what is organic chemistry? Before learning the classification, we should understand what is organic chemistry. Yes, so this organic chemistry, what is that? It's the chemistry of catenated carbon compounds. Is the chemistry of catenated carbon compounds. So what do you mean by catenation? Just now I told you, it is the unique ability of the carbon atoms, okay, so that they form chains or rings of the carbon atoms by linking each other. They will link each other like this. That is, they will be having the property to link with each other through the covalent bond. So what is covalent bond? You can comment me. What is covalent bond? So the carbon is having the tetravalency. I told you it will be having 4 electrons in its valence shell. These 4 electrons only going to bond with the other atoms like hydrogen. Say for example methane I am taking. So this CH4 is the formula for the methane. Okay, how this CH4 is formed with a carbon? this hydrogen is having one electron in its valence shell, and this hydrogen is having one electron in its valence shell, like this one and the fourth one also. So these all the four hydrogen atoms, they will bond with the carbon through the electron which is present in the valence shell of the carbon. This valence shell of the carbon will be having 4 electrons. Okay, so these 4 electrons will pair with each hydrogen atom. So you will have 4 covalent bond. This is known as the covalency, mutual sharing of electrons. Mutual sharing. Okay, so that is known as the covalency, mutual sharing. Okay, so this is what catenation meaning, children. So you can easily understand what is catenation. Simple way, the carbon has the ability to form rings, it has the ability to form chains with other carbon atoms, not only with carbon atom, with other atoms also through the covalent bond. Okay, so this is about the catenation process. Okay, and the next we will see today's class main motto of this today's session is the classification, is the classification of organic compounds. So what is how these organic compounds have been classified? They have been classified based on the pattern, based on the systematic method, and then based on the structural arrangement I told you just now. Okay, now this organic compound, how it is going to be classified? First classification is either it is a open chain or linear chain, or it is the closed or the cyclic chain. This is the first classification. These organic compounds, how they are classified? Either they are open chain like this. If you look at this, it is having 1, 2, 3 carbon. It is C3 carbon compound, and if you see it is a 4. It is the 4 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon. It is the cyclic compound. This is the open chain compound. Understood? So what is the first classification is based on the chain or a ring. If it is a chain means open chain. If it is a ring means closed chain, closed ring. Okay. So with the help of the covalent bond formation only. Wherever the carbon is combined with other atom, there will be covalent bond formation. Okay, have it in your mind. And then again this open chain compound, no, it will be further classified. It will be further classified into two. What are they? Saturated and unsaturated. Okay, so carbon carbon single bond. If it is a single bond, single covalent bond is between the carbon atom like this. This carbon is going to share one electron and this carbon is going to share one electron. They form mutual sharing of electrons. That is the saturated single bond will be there. If it is more than one bond, more than one pair of electrons are shared between the carbon and carbon means that is known as the unsaturated. Okay, presence of double bond or presence of 2 pair of or 3 pair of electrons are forming a covalent bond between the carbon atoms, then it is known as unsaturated. Remember, single strand single compound bond formation between the carbon and carbon is known as a saturated, and then double pair of electrons or triple pair of electrons are forming a covalent bond between the carbon atoms, then it is known as the unsaturated compound. Saturated, unsaturated. So this comes under the open chain compound or the acyclic compound. Okay, and if you look at this cyclic or the closed chain compounds, you will have two classification, two types. One is carboxylic, only carbon ring will be there. Okay, where another one is heterocyclic, other than carbon extra elements will be there, that is known as the heterocyclic. Okay, so carboxylic, and then they will be having only one carbon ring. Heterocyclic, they will be having carbon with other elements. Understood? And further, this carboxylic or which having the carbon ring, no, only carbon ring, it will be further divided into two types. They are alicyclic and then aromatic. What are they? Alicyclic and aromatic. So alicyclic means they will be having like this carbon atoms with a bond like a cyclic compound with only the same type of carbon. whereas aromatic means it will form a benzene ring like this, and in this other elements may also be linked. Okay, so there are two types of carboxylic, the only carbon ring which is having, so alicyclic and aromatic. The difference between alicyclic and aromatic will be discussed in detail. Okay, so today's session would be a more useful session, I think so. Only a small chunk I have taken today, that is the organic classification. So first one is the organic compounds are first classified into acyclic or open chain compounds, like this linear. Open chain means linear chain. It's not a closed ring. Whereas the other, this one is known as cyclic. Cyclic means it will form a ring, closed ring like this. Closed chain we can say. Open chain means this one. Next is acyclic or the open chain have two types, saturated and unsaturated. Saturated means they will be sharing one pair of electrons. Unsaturated means more than one pair of electrons will be shared between the carbon atoms. Okay, the next is this closed chain, no, this cyclic. It has been further divided into two types. Carboxylic or only carbon ring will be there. Heterocyclic means other than carbon atom, any other element will be there. This is known as the heterocyclic. And the next is, this is the classification of organic compounds. Further, this carboxylic acid is further divided into two types. They are the alicyclic and the aromatic. This is what the classification of organic compounds in detail we have studied in this session. Hope you would like this session. Please share among your friends, relatives also, those who are studying class 10 or any other higher classes. This is related to all the science concepts only. So you can even subscribe for more videos. So daily I am posting shorts also on the class 10 concepts, science concepts. Apart from that, if people are interested, you can join our online coaching also. Okay, if you are interested, I have been shared already my email ID in previous live sessions also. We'll see you tomorrow in the further topic in organic compounds. Okay, see you, have a nice day. Okay, so go through the concepts then and then it will be easy for you while preparing the exam. Thank you, children. Take care.